Have you ever felt that deep, bone-tired exhaustion that sleep just doesn't seem to touch? Like this invisible weight you're just lugging around all day? Well, if you have, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dive into something that's becoming incredibly common, but it's hiding right in plain sight. We're talking about a silent kind of suffering. And this quote, man, it just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It feels like the world is getting mentally heavier. You can feel it. But the problem is, nobody can see the wounds. We don't really have the words or maybe even the permission to talk about the damage it's doing.
So let's get into it. An invisible epidemic. Now, why call it that? Well, because it's spreading, and it's spreading quietly. It's affecting millions of people. But here's the kicker. It doesn't show up in any of the ways we've been taught to look for.
Think about it. How do we, as a society, usually understand being sick or hurt? We look for proof, right? We look for the physical stuff, like scars, something you can point to and say, see, that's where I got hurt. Or we look for the classic symptoms, things like a fever, a cough, a rash, stuff that tells you, okay, something is definitely off here. And of course, we look for the bandages, right? The cast on the arm. It's the universal sign that someone is injured and is in the process of healing. But this kind of suffering we're talking about, it has none of that. Absolutely zero. And that right there, that's the real problem. Just because you can't see it doesn't mean it isn't real. The weight is absolutely real. For so many people, it's like this heavy, invisible anchor they have to drag with them every single day. Okay, so if there are no visible signs, no bandages, no scars, how do you even begin to talk about what you're feeling? The words we use become incredibly important. And that brings us to this really crucial difference. The difference between saying you're tired versus feeling totally drained. Let's really look at this, because it's a huge distinction. When we say we're tired, that's usually physical. It's like your phone battery's low. You plug it in, you get some rest, and you're recharged. Good to go. But feeling drained, that's a whole different ballgame. That's an emotional emptiness. It's like your battery isn't just low, it's broken. It won't hold a charge anymore. Sleep doesn't fix it. It's a much deeper kind of exhaustion. So what do you do when you feel this profound internal exhaustion? How do people cope with it? Well, a lot of us turn to what you could call a modern numbing machine. And what are the parts of this machine? You know them. Our screens, nonstop work, endless entertainment to stream. And these things, they're not just fun distractions. They've become our modern numbing agents. Their job is to fill every single quiet moment with noise, with something to do, so we never have to sit in that uncomfortable silence where that drained feeling really starts to creep in. It feels like we're relaxing, but really, it's just avoidance. And all of this whole experience, it brings us to a name for it: silent suffering. And let's be clear, this is way more than just feeling sad. It's this widespread emotional pain that, as we've seen, has no outward signs, no conventional treatment, and really no societal recognition. And because we don't really have a box to put it in, people end up feeling so confused and alone with it. How can you talk about something that doesn't even have a name? This whole invisibility thing, it creates probably the biggest challenge of all. Think about it. If millions of us are hurting in a way that no one can see, it means our world, our society, it's completely unprepared to deal with it. Look at how we're set up to heal things. Our whole system is built around problems we can see. You break a bone, you get a cast. You get an infection, you get medicine. But for this kind of deep emotional pain, there's no cast you can wear to let people know you're hurting. There's no simple pill that just makes it all better. And maybe most importantly, there's no pause button. You can't just stop the world and get off while you fix what's going on inside. And that leaves us with this huge central question for our time, one that we really don't have an answer for yet. If all our tools for healing were designed for injuries we can see, then how in the world do we even start to treat the wounds that are invisible? So let's leave it with this thought, which is so important. The deepest pain is often the one nobody notices. This really suggests that the first step to healing these invisible wounds isn't some new miracle drug or a fancy therapy. It starts with something much simpler and maybe even harder. It starts with the radical act of just noticing. Noticing it in ourselves and making the space to notice it in each other. Thanks so much for joining me for this explainer.